Welcome to Heat Check, powered by Defunct.com. These are the highest selling vintage t-shirts on eBay over the last 2 weeks. Let's see who made the list. All right, coming in at number 10, we have the Legends of Zelda Ocarina of Time t-shirt. Check this one out. This is Ganon, right? Yeah, Ganon. This is a pretty dope t-shirt. You do not see these big print Nintendo game t-shirts all that often. Obviously double stitch. I think this is what, for the GameCube? Probably. This was probably for the GameCube. I might be offending some of you, Zelda fans. I don't know much about it, so I'm assuming this is from the GameCube. This is a dope t-shirt. One of the cooler Zelda t-shirts you're going to find out there. So this one did really well. This one sold for $1,175 with 22 bids. Sick tee. Next up at number 9, we have the 1984 Karate Kid movie promo t-shirt. It's like a muscle shirt. This is interesting. Look at this. It just says the Karate Kid 1984 tournament. Nothing particularly super crazy about this. Is that a signal tag, I think? It might even be cut off. No, maybe not. Nothing crazy about the design. Like in the, this is just one of those cool, rare 80s movie promo tees. So that's pretty sick. This one did really well as well. It sold for, this is kind of funny. This is what they wanted for it, but it was listed at $12,1984. Ha ha ha. Cute. But that's what it did sell for, so congratulations. Then next we have this 1994 Marvel Comic Images Captain America Jumbo print is what they call it here. This one you do not see. We have not seen this particular design on this list. Looks great. Copyright in 1994 is what I'm guessing. Yeah. So some of this is one of the more. This is one of the later ones, later designs, but this one still looks fantastic. It looks like it's nearly dead stock. The image and print looks so fantastic on this one. Let's take a look at some of their photos here. It has the Fruit of the Loom tag, which is what most of these were printed on, especially the earliest ones. Here we have that 1994 Comic Images. Looks like they do have some sort of mark, but who knows if that's what that's from. This thing looks great. Not seen this design again, like we said, we haven't seen it before, but this one is fantastic and sold. Look at this, after 39 bids, so clearly some attention on this thing. It did sell for $1,225. Speaking of t-shirts we've not seen on this list, this is the 1991 Akira anime tee. We have not seen this particular Akira design make the top 10 list until today, but look at this one. It's like obviously single stitch. Let's see. This is the only photo. It looks like only photo they provided for us. But okay, makes sense, I guess. It's a good photo. Do they give us the measurements? It just says size XL as is. It does not look like they give us the measurements, which is a kind of a bummer, and would make me a little bit make this sale a little bit difficult for me personally. But they still did all right. This is a great t-shirt. Again, one we don't see very often. We've never seen it on the top 10. This one is sold for $12.50. All right, now for a t-shirt that we see fairly often. This one comes up like every other month or so. Sometimes there are seasons where this t-shirt does really well and has actually topped the list. And some seasons where it does this, where it's like at $1,300, which is what this thing sold for. But we've seen this tee a number of times. In the past, I believe we've seen this thing go for upwards of $2,000. So that's just the ebb and flow of the vintage market. Obviously, Nine Inch Nails, Rage Against the Machine, Leonard Cohen, L7. The soundtrack to this, I believe. And this one looks like it's a little yellowed, which might have something to do with the lower price, at least lower than normal. Let's see. Neckline is unstained and unstretched, size large. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. The last buyer apparently did not actually pay for it, or is not responding. Either way, this thing looks great. It's a good size, a good t-shirt all around. It sold for $1,300. Then next up we have the true vintage, I hate that term, Stooges t-shirt. This would have been probably from the 70s, Raw Effing Power. Let's take a look, see if we can get, yeah, you can't really see the tag. It might be like late 70s, early 80s on this particular tag. But this is a t-shirt. We've never seen the Stooges on this list, so congratulations to the Stooges for making the list. I know this is probably the biggest achievement in your career. This one's super cool. Not a lot going on here, just the text on the front on this one. Let's see if it gives us a. Does it give us a? So this is like a women's large. I wish they. What are the measurements? Measurements. Do you guys measurements? I don't know. Measurements are always helpful, guys. You probably should always be using measurements and giving measurements on t-shirts like this. But either way, they did get what they asked for at $13.50. All right, then we have our first, but not our last, Sonic Youth t-shirt. Sonic Youth t-shirts have been at the top of this list a lot lately. We have the 1992 Sonic Youth Dirty t-shirt. Dirty right there. This one's great. We have seen this one on the list before. I don't know if we've seen it in this colorway. I feel like this colorway is not made the list before. I could be wrong. This is a later Sonic Youth t-shirt. It's not one of their 80s t-shirts, as you can tell by the Hanes heavyweight tag and the double stitch. These are clearly, this one is clearly from later, which it might be that's when they released the album. I don't actually know. But it did do pretty good. It didn't sell for $240, so don't freak out. It sold for quite a bit more than that. This one sold for $1,700, and the reason that it says like this is because the winning bid was not $240. They accepted an offer of $1,700 before the auction was over, so that's why it looks like this. Then we have a t-shirt we see pretty regularly, and it's almost to the point where we're going to have to retire it. We have the Nirvana Insecticide shirt. What a great title here. This t-shirt is always in demand. It's not one of my favorite Nirvana t-shirt designs, but this one is always going for a lot of money. It has been on the list maybe like 5 out of the last 7 or 8 weeks. But this one I think has done better than most of the other ones we've seen. This one, after 28 bids, sold for $1,802, which I do believe is, I don't know if it's not a record or anything, but I believe the other ones we've seen have all gone around $1,500 if I remember correctly. But either way, really good, awesome t-shirt. At number 3, we have this anime tee. Anime tees are also doing really well. It's like anime and Sonic Youth and Nirvana. That's like the big, and Marvel every once in a while. And we have the Devilman Japanese anime manga t-shirt. Again, I know so little about anime or manga, but here we go. We have this Devilman t-shirt. It's a pretty cool graphic, to be honest. Like, pretty sick. Let's see. Don't know what that means. Probably it's like copyright and date. On the anvil tag, size large. Fabric made in the U.S. It's probably because it's the cotton. This came out of Japan. Let's take a look at all this information. This is a Teamwear 1990 model of. This is a genuine product of Tommy Hill. This is not correct. Vodafone. Looks like they copy and pasted the wrong description, because that's not the description of this t-shirt. So looks like they're looking at the Ferrari Tommy Hilfiger jacket, so which are super cool, by the way. But that is definitely not what this description is describing, or this t-shirt, that's for sure. Either way, it did really well. Did fantastic. It sold for $18.80 and 15 cents.
Now, before we get to number 1, if you're going to spend a fortune like on one of these t-shirts on this list, make sure that it's authentic by using the Legitimate app in the description below. Use code LoopFam for 25% off your authentication.
Now, number 1, we have the Sonic Youth again, or Sonic Youth again. Here we go with this. This is an interesting t-shirt. Tannis Root, Don Rock, Nirvana, Winona Ryder. And at first I was like, what in the world? But check this out. So Apparently, if you go down here, the description has the seller has a pretty cool description about this T-shirt. Craig Montgomery, sound engineer for Nirvana. Originally, this Sonic Youth T-shirt was purchased from Craig Montgomery, so it was, got some Nirvana connection. Originally, these were just a white shirt that only featured the Sonic Youth members, which would have been just this the 4-box design here. But until Tanis Root were asked to make them more exhilarating, showcasing Winona Ryder on the back as well, along with bands like Mudhoney, Laughing Hyenas, and Old Skull. So take a back look here. You can see the back side. We have Winona Ryder and I guess the tour that Sonic Youth was on. So yeah, super interesting T-shirt, and here's a picture of him wearing it. Super cool. Love hearing these stories of some of these original T-shirts. This one is definitely one of the cooler T-shirts we've seen with one of the best histories for sure. So this one did really well. No surprise. It sold for $2,200.